Hello model railroad fans, welcome to Vintage Road and Rail. In today's video I've got a pretty interesting train set I thought we would take a look at. Just kind of a quick story as to how I come across this. Probably about a couple of months ago, as I'm filming this, it's August 2022, and I want to say in June, but I won't swear to it. My local railroad club had an auction with stuff that was donated, so you could go in there and compete with other members, and whoever bids the highest gets the item. Well, they started the bidding for this train set at $10, so I bid and nobody else did. So I got this train set for $10. And it looks really rough when you're looking at the box, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, this train set is surprisingly complete. For one, a train set that was made in 1975. Because this Spirit of 76 set is called the Over and Under, and it was released in 1975. That's the catalog you'll find it in. So it's amazingly complete, and we'll go over that here in just a moment. And we'll go over a couple of differences between this and the 74 train set, because the 74 and 75 are almost identical, with the exception of a couple of key differences, and we'll hit on those when we come to it. But anyway, so this is the train set, and this is the box. Not a whole lot to see, but we'll go over what we see here real quick. So it says 101 piece super over and under set. Super. Okay. And it says set includes everything shown, so let's go over that real quick. So we see it's a Spirit of 76. And up here, don't know how well you can see that. Let me just... This thing's all beat up. Let me bring it down so that you can kind of see. So we got our C430 Spirit of 76 locomotive, and down here on the end we've got a matching streamlined caboose. So we got our 40-foot Shell tank car, we got our 40-foot auto loader, we got a piggyback flat car, 40-foot hopper, and 50-foot New Haven boxcar. And then it tells you we have 24 decorated signs and poles, 33-piece bridge and trestle set, comes with a piggyback set and truck terminal, curved re-railer, and electric power pack. And I dropped my notes here. So you will find this, like I said, in the 1975 catalog, and let me just read to you its description. A Tyco commemorative train of collector quality. Well, actually, I don't know about the quality, because Tyco can be a little bit iffy, but I love them anyway. But they're pretty highly sought after these days. Red, white, and blue colors determine the set, including an official seal and American flag on the powerful lighted Alco diesel locomotive. Set includes a big over and under figure 8 layout, 33-piece bridge and trestle set, 24-piece sign and pole set, and 6 colorful authentic freight cars. And really, this is a pretty good size figure 8 layout. The dimensions that it says are 40 by 87, so that's going to take up the bulk of a 4 by 8 sheet of plywood. Alright, so we've yammered on enough here. Let's get this old beat up box out of the way and take a look and go over what's in this set, and then see if we can give it a good run around the track here. So I'm going to just flip this off over here. And in this one of the corners, I don't know that there's a reason to hang on to it, but I did. Alright, so I'm going to kind of turn this, and this may be a bit hard to point out everything because the box is so big, but right here, this box is going to have your truck terminal, and in there would be the piggyback freight car, the cab for the truck, and 2 trailers. Now this box here, you know what, I'm going to take this camera off tripod for what I'm doing now. That way I can just show you a little bit better. Alright, so this box here that we're looking at would have had the auto loader in it, and then above it on a piece of card with like a bubble over it would have these 6 cars. But those 6 cars are all there. But right now the 6 cars are in there in some track. So over here we've got our bridge and trestle set. And down here we've got our hopper car. And we're going to go back up here and here's where the auto loader is. So I'm not real sure what would have been in this box. I'm suspecting maybe the sign poles, because unlike the rest of the boxes, it's not marked. So here we've got our shell tank car, but if you look at one end of it, it actually is marked tank car. And here's our 50-foot box car. And down here we've got our streamlined caboose, Spirit of 76 decoration. And this is the Alco C430 locomotive. And you have already seen this. I worked on this locomotive a few videos ago, and if you haven't, I'll post that in the at the end of the video. And this one's a bit of a transition loco, and this is going to be one of the first differences between this set and the 74 series. I'll bring this around, and you can't really tell it here, but we've got a blue roof, whereas on the 74 series this wrapped all the way around. And the other thing is, right here on the nose there was blue stripe that went all the way around. So that's one of the key differences. And I thought at first that this set didn't have handrails, because you can see clearly there's no handrails on this locomotive. But when you look in the catalog and you look in the box, you see handrails. Well, we're going to cover that here in just a few moments. Alright, so let me set up on the camera, or on the tripod, and we're going to look at each piece in a little bit more detail. We're not going to go over everything too much because I've kind of gone over a lot of these things in the past. But as we look at them, I'm going to load them up on this re-railer. That way they'll be pretty much ready to run. So let's go back on here. So really, like I said, I'm very surprised as to how complete this set is. And I'll try to mention what's missing as I go along, but it's very, very little. I would figure this set to be probably 98% complete. And one of the things you will notice at the outset that is missing is the little cardboard inserts. You can see they just kind of flop around. And so with that in mind, I had considered, and coupled with the fact that the box was so raggedy, I thought about just getting rid of it, putting everything in bubble wrap and putting it up, and just getting rid of the packaging. But I found a seller on eBay that sells reproduction versions of that cardboard. So I'm actually thinking, since this is mostly in good shape, getting those reproduction cardboards and keeping them all in the box and just putting it in storage. Alright, well here is our Spirit of 76 caboose, and it is in amazing good shape. I don't even know if this thing was hardly run. I mean, I don't see any dirt or nothing on the wheels. Nothing is broken, including our little chimney or smokestack here. This one has metal handrails, plastic ladder. Is that plastic? Well, that feels like a metal ladder, actually. And we got our brake wheel. I guess it doesn't have the brake wheel on that side either, just on the one side. So let's go ahead and put that on the track here. Alright, so let's go next to our Virginian hopper car. You know, and I was going to put all these on the track, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because I can see me knocking them over. And there it is. We got our brake wheel. Like I said, it doesn't even look like it's been run, but the stirrups, or the ladders if you will, are not broken. Everything looks great. I mean, really looks good. Let me just toss these over there. And let's move over to our shell car. Slide that out of the way, throw that out of the way actually. And again, everything looks good. We got our brake wheel. Looks practically new. I mean, really beautiful car. All of them so far. Alright, so now let's go to our 50-foot New Haven box car here. Beautiful looking car. I mean, it looks new. Like I said, if it was run, it wasn't run much. And we do have our brake wheel, which is really surprising because, especially on a box car like this, that doesn't have the filled in stirrups. These will be broke and the brake wheel will be missing. So to have these stirrups completely intact and the brake wheel still with the car, that's just amazing. Alright, so now let's move on to our piggyback flat car set with the truck depot. And this is where we're going to see the first little problem. So as you can see, here's the flat car, but it's supposed to have two of these. Well, I've got one of them, and the other one is missing. I don't see it anywhere in the box, so I'm not real sure where it went. But there's the flat car. And here is the truck terminal. And while we have the little signs that say truck terminal, there's supposed to be a sign that goes here where you put those on, and you can see there's a piece of it left. So my guess is it got broken and probably just thrown away at some point. So here's the first little trailer, second little trailer, and you can tell this is an older set because it's got this style of tractor or truck cab. A little bit later on, like with the silver streak, you get a more modern looking one, which looks better in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of this 40s, 50s look. Alright, let's get that to close. Alright, and here is our bridge or our auto loader box. So the cars are in there as well as some tracks, so I'm not going to bother opening that, but we will, on that cue, move over to our auto loader. And box didn't want to open. That box is like, I've been closed for 30 years, I ain't opening. Alright. And again, really beautiful car. The stirrups are intact. No brake wheel, but I don't know that this ever had one. I don't see where there would have been one. So that looks really, really nice. And we're going to move up here. This is our sign poles, telephone poles, things of that nature. And underneath it is just a little pamphlet that tells you how to care for your train. This is your power supply. No real point in pulling that out. And over here is a box of track. And this is our bridge and trestle set. And I was going to ignore this because I'm not going to set up the bridge and trestle set, but I opened it up looking for the other one of these. I didn't see it. However, I did come across this. Unopened. This is the handrail kit for our C430 locomotive. So I was really excited to find that in there. So that means I can install the handrails. Now let's go back to our locomotive. But as you can see so far, the only thing that is missing is, that I can confirm, is one of these and the little sign. You can see it right here with this truck depot. That's it. That's all that's missing as far as I can tell. Alright, so here is our Spirit 76 locomotive. And like I said, you've already seen me work on this because it was not running when I got it, but it's running great now. And this is the primary difference between the previous year model. This is now a solid blue, whereas before it was white, and the blue stripe went over, this red stripe went over. And then here on the front, we got this Spirit 76 here, and I don't know if that was still there or not. I couldn't quite tell. But there was a blue stripe that went all the way around the front of the locomotive. It still had the flag there. And another difference is the 74 version had the older MU trucks. Well, this one, as you can tell, sorry about that, has the power trucks, or the power torque trucks. So it's transitional. It looks a little bit different. and has a little bit different coupler. And if you watched my video where I worked on this, you'll notice after I got it up and running, it was snagging on the switch. Come to find out, I thought it was a coupler height issue, and in a way I was right. This was not snapped in all the way, and so it was causing this little pin here to catch. So that has been resolved. Alright, so that is it for a look at what comes in the box. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and set up the depot. I'm going to get everything on the track. I'm going to put it, for fun of it, I'm going to put it in the order that you see it on the box. And then we'll just give it a few laps around the track and wrap this video up. So give me just a few minutes and I shall be right back. I've got the train set all set up here. And in addition to that, I tried to set up some of the accessories. A lot of times when I do these videos on train sets, I just look at the train set itself. I tend to kind of ignore a lot of the accessories, and sometimes all the accessories may be is like maybe a signal bridge or a few poles or signs, but this time I thought it'd be fun to set up a few of the accessories that came in the box. Now I couldn't set up the figure 8 because, like I said, it takes up the bulk of a 4x8 table, and this is only 4x6, so wasn't much I could do about that, but I could set up some of the signs. So as you can see here, I've got the electric or telephone poles, whichever one you want to go with, probably a combination of the two. And there was a couple of railroad crossing signs and a few other various signs here, and a screw, I don't know where that came from. And then we've got the truck terminal, and we've got one of the trailers has been offloaded and the truck is driving off. Kind of the best I could do with one of those missing. I'm going to hit up eBay and see if I can find another one of those, or just find an old beat up one and salvage it. But usually those cars are pretty robust because there's not a lot to them, not like, say, that auto loader. But anyway, it's starting to ramble. So here's our Spirit of 76 locomotive. This is a Alco C430. We got our Shell tank car. We've got our auto loader with all 6 autos. We've got our piggyback car with one of the trailers. And we've got our hopper car, there's no load. 50-foot box car, New Haven. And we have got our streamlined caboose, Spirit of 76. So we've got a total of 5 freight cars and a caboose, and I think it's a very beautiful looking set. Alright, so we're all hooked up. We're turned on here. Let's give it a little power. And we can, I don't know if you can see it, but the light's coming on. Get a little brighter. And there we go. This has pretty good slow speed. I'm really impressed. Let's get down here and get a closer look. That is one beautiful locomotive. I'm sorry, I love Spirit of 76. I'm a sucker for anything Spirit of 76. Alright, I'll speed it up just a bit. We're not driving Miss Daisy, we can go a little faster. Alright, that is a beautiful set. In my opinion, I think it's just wonderful. Down in the comments, let me know what you think of this set. If you have this one or one of the other Spirit of 76, there was a lot of them. This one was with the C430. I think there's one with a C630. There's one with a F7 or an F9. And then they have the Spirit of America, which is a steamer with tender and 3 passenger cars. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you have this one or one of the others. Alright, Model Railroad fans, that is a look at this Spirit of 76 over and under vintage train set. If you enjoyed taking a look at this train set, make sure to hit that like button, comment below, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I've got lots of other stuff coming. I've got enough train sets to get myself in trouble with my wife, so lots more coming. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me today. Happy model railroading, guys. Take care.